Take a close look at this diamond-shaped piece of traditional Burfi. Notice the sharp, clean edges and dense, unbroken texture running straight through the center. Achieving that flawless structure at home requires mastering a specific thermal reduction. Today, we are going to walk through exactly how to control heat and moisture to get this perfect result. We built this confection using two core building blocks, sugar and a heavily reduced dairy base called hard Khoa or Pindi. What you are seeing here is the hard Khoa. Unlike liquid milk or fresh, high-moisture cheese, Pindi is extremely dense and slightly crumbly. It has already had most of its water content evaporated away. To process this properly, you need the right hardware. Grab a heavy-bottomed kadai or a thick skillet to distribute heat evenly, a sturdy spatula for scraping, and a greased metal folly or tray for setting the final product. Success in this process comes down to identifying a specific physical transition, the moment the milk solids and sugar bond into a cohesive, workable dough. Step 1 happens before the stove even goes on. Take a moment to grease your setting tray with a light layer of ghee. Once the Burfi reaches its setting point, it hardens rapidly, and you will not have time to prep a tray later. Next, crumble the hard Khoa directly into your cold pan. Breaking it down by hand ensures the heat will distribute evenly through the dairy base, preventing cold spots from forming in the center of large chunks. Apply medium-low heat and immediately introduce your sugar to the crumbled Khoa. During the melt phase, heat forces moisture out of the Khoa particles, dissolving the surrounding sugar crystals. The entire mixture relaxes into a loose, bubbling liquid. If your ingredients suddenly look like soup, do not panic. That temporary liquefaction has to happen first. It allows the sugar molecules to fully integrate with the milk solids before we start cooking the moisture back out. Now, the mechanics change. You must stir continuously and aggressively. Milk proteins burn quickly when trapped against direct heat. Focus your spatula on the landing zones, the bottom corners, and the sides of the pan. Keep the mixture moving so nothing has a chance to scorch. Notice how the mixture behaves here. We have hit the gathering point. The thick, dough-like mass rolls together as a single unit as you stir. Watch for the pull-away cue. As you drag the mass across the kadai, it should leave the pan walls completely clean, with zero sticky residue trailing behind. If you push past this point, the sugar will reach the hard crack stage. That strips away too much moisture and leaves you with a brittle, powdery block instead of a smooth confection. Once you see that maximum cohesion and clean pull-away, kill the heat immediately. You have hit the terminal point for cooking. With the pan off the heat, stir in your cardamom powder or rose water. High heat destroys these volatile aromatics, so we always fold them in at the very end. Move quickly to transfer the hot, cohesive mass directly onto your pre-greased tray. Grease the back of your spatula and use it to press the mixture out. Work methodically to flatten it into a uniform block with a level surface. Add your chopped nuts now. Physically press the garnishes down so they lock into place as the sugars cool and solidify. Your speed here is critical. The faster you level the mass before the temperature drops, the smoother and denser your final chilled block will be. Step away and leave the tray completely undisturbed at room temperature for a few hours. The sugar matrix needs time to fully crystallize. This template maps out the geometry for the classic diamond cut. You make straight, parallel, vertical slices first, followed by a series of precise 60-degree diagonal cuts across the grid. Watch the mechanical action of the blade. As you slice through the cooled block, the knife should meet firm, dense resistance without the edges crumbling. Take your knife and carefully pry up a single piece from the outer edge. Removing that first corner releases the tension across the rest of the tray, making the remaining diamonds easy to lift. That clean snap under the knife is your final proof. It tells you your moisture reduction and sugar crystallization are timed perfectly. Arrange your pieces on the plate. The bright greens and browns of the nut garnish stand out beautifully against the dense, pale dairy base. This is an industrial pasteurization line, where milk is processed in massive, uniform quantities. While these machines excel at consistency, your small batch approach allows for immediate adjustments based on the specific feel and resistance of the dough. This direct sensory feedback is what ensures the artisanal quality of each piece you make. To store your batch, place the pieces in an airtight container. Keep them at room temperature. The refrigerator will introduce condensation that ruins the smooth surface. They will easily keep for a week to 10 days. You will even notice the texture change slightly over the first 48 hours as the internal sugars continue to firmly set. Once you have a feel for this baseline ratio, try swapping in pistachios, almonds, or even saffron strands to build your own flavor profiles. Mastering Burfi is a matter of reading the pan. By observing the way the solids gather and clear the pan walls, you can reliably turn dairy and sugar into a professional-grade confection every time.